What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and before we get into the action tonight, the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. We are very close to 400, so if you're a new subscriber, definitely recommend hitting that sub button, or if you're a longtime subscriber, definitely share it out there. Let's grow this page together, get it over that 400 sub count, and just continue on from there. I greatly appreciate everyone that has been subbed so far and can't wait for the new ones that eventually will join. So, into the game tonight. The Philadelphia Flyers, they beat the Boston Bruins by a score of 6-3. They have 5 points in their first 3 games to start the season. And for the Flyers in this game, they definitely did not play their best. I think Boston, majority throughout the game, was the better team. The Flyers definitely played a better third period. But the first and the second period, I think Boston outplayed them. But for the Flyers, you definitely can call them opportunistic. And the Flyers, they made some of their own mistakes as well. Rasmus Ristolainen in his first night in the defensive zone next to Sanheim, and he made a couple of mistakes. Nicolas Aube-Kubel making a couple of mistakes tonight as well. So there's some things to talk about with the negativities from this game, but I think the major positive to take from this game is that last year's team would have lost this game. This team, the team that Chuck Fletcher put together this year, the new additions that he brought to the team, they keep contributing in these first 3 games. That second line of Derek Brassard, Joel Farabee, and Cam Atkinson combined for 6 points tonight. That line has been lethal to start the season, and I mean lethal. They have been good. Cam Atkinson with 2 goals today, Joel Farabee with a goal and assist, and Derek Brassard with 2 assists tonight. Keith Yandel continues to contribute. He got 2 points. He has 5 points to start the season. Ryan Ellis contributes once again. He gets an assist on a power play goal. Martin Jones had a very solid game today. Very solid. Boston put up a lot of shots in this game. He stopped 37 out of 40. Really good performance out of Martin Jones today. So hopefully he can shut up the haters for one night. And the Rasmus Ristolainen haters, they're definitely going to show their ugly faces tonight after the couple of mistakes that he made. But I'm not going to harp on him for one game. I am definitely not going to do that. It's his first game being played. He was injured for the first 2 games to start the season. Hasn't played in a week and a half. I know the analytics. I know his weather maps out there. I know the analytical nerds are going to, it's the same old Rasmus Ristolainen. He's going to be a hinder to your team. But this team still found a way to win this game regardless of the mistakes. They fought back. Even though they didn't trail once in this game, Boston was only able to tie it twice. So the Flyers managed to not even go down to this team. They managed to continue fighting on, continue grabbing the lead, and they went on from there, and they had a much better third period. And the first line for the Flyers, they were getting torched a lot by the perfection line out of Boston. Pastrnak, Bergeron, Marchand. Our first line of Claude Giroux, TK, and Couturier, they were getting hemmed in their own zone a lot. But I noticed something out of Alain Vigneault. I'm not sure if this was his decision or was Boston trying to play with the matchups as well. I saw that in the third period, the more that the first line got hemmed in by Boston's first line, Alain Vigneault started to put out the Brassard line against Boston's set first line. And you got Sean Couturier, Claude Giroux, TK out there against the different matchups of the lines for the Boston Bruins. And that line played noticeably better in that third period. But TK getting that goal, Couturier getting the empty netter, that line played much better. And also, to only give up 1 power play in this game to Boston, even though you got away with a lot, there was an obvious tripping penalty in that third period that was not called. So you got away with 1 there as well. And also, you credit to Sean Couturier at the end of the game drawing that roughing penalty to Carlo. That's a really 1,000 IQ play there, if I do say so myself. But this team, from the first 3 games, and I know it's only been 3 games to start the season, but you can definitely notice that this team is much different. They're a better team. Last year's team, they would have lost this game. Boston probably would have scored way more goals than they did tonight. A lot of the chances for Boston, they were kept to the outside. Yeah, they had some dangerous chances, and they did score on those turnovers and mistakes. But majority of the chances for Boston were kept to the outside. Martin Jones made some nice saves in this game, and you end up winning this game 6-3. So that's where it matters. You managed to fight through this game, not playing your best, but you managed to put your best in the third period. You came out, you won this game 6-3, and that is where it matters. So let's start off with this game. So yeah, Boston, they gave it to the Flyers early on. They were in their zone a lot. The Flyers really had trouble clearing the puck. They were having that problem majority through the first and the second period. Really just having trouble getting the puck out of their own zone. So I was just like, oh man, this might be a long night if this continues to happen. But it was a good play right here from the Derek Brassard line once again. Flyers turn it over in their own zone. Well, they force a turnover in their own zone. Derek Brassard comes out with the puck, makes a nice feed to Cam Atkinson, who's in a 2-on-1 with Joel Farabee. And thank God we have a guy that has the shoot-first mentality in Cam Atkinson. That's desperately what this team needed. And what does he do? He shoots first on the 2-on-1. Swayman makes the initial save, but it trickles by him and into the net. Makes it a 1-0 lead for the Flyers. And then Boston, they continued to get their chances throughout this period as well. They had a power play in this first period. They could not cash in. But the Flyers, once again, they just had trouble getting out of their own zone. Joel Farabee also had a very nice play later on in this period as well. It's that Brassard line, man. They've been all over the ice in the first 3 games, and they continued that tonight. Got Joel Farabee forcing a turnover in the offensive zone, comes into the slot, does a little toe drag, shot on the net, but Swayman made a nice save to prevent another goal for the Flyers there. And then going back down the ice, you got the fourth line out there for the Flyers, who I didn't think to have that much. They didn't really have their best game out there, the fourth line, Nate Thompson, Albie Kubel, and also having McEwen in there for the first time. Honestly, I thought McEwen had a very nice game. He made some nice defensive plays, especially at the end, though. But you got the fourth line out there. Nicholas Albie Kubel, who I honestly thought had a terrible game tonight. He made way too many mistakes, and Nicholas Albie Kubel, just even going back to last season, like he really just hasn't found that game that he had a couple of years ago where he was a very solid bottom 6 forward. He just, for some reason, can't find it right now, and he really needs to, or he's going to find himself out of the lineup. Goes behind his own net, gets stuck there, gets really just sandwiched by 2 Boston players. They get the puck out, brings it to the point, they put a shot on net, and the puck lands on the stick of Kuhlman, puts it behind Martin Jones, makes it a 1-1 game. But the Flyers, they managed to draw a power play at the end of this period, and it goes down to the later stages of this period too, because they do get some chances, but Boston manages to clear the zone because they are a really good penalty-killing team, even going back to last season. But the second unit brings it out there, and the second unit for the power play actually has been really, really good, having Ryan Ellis quarterback in that second unit, and Provorov too on that left side, so he doesn't have to worry about manning the blue line on the power play. He's been noticeably better on that unit as well, but they keep it in the zone. They bring it in. Ryan Ellis, Derek Brassard leads the pass to Ryan Ellis, who just winds up, fakes the shot at first, but then sends the shot on net, hits a couple of players in front. Swayman makes the initial save, but he got Farabee in the dirty area, finding that rebound, burying the puck into the net, makes it a 2-1 Flyers lead going into the intermission. Even though it's on the power play, that Brassard line making noticeable just impacts. Even on the power play, too, it's basically Cam Atkinson, Joel Farabee, and Derek Brassard as that second unit with 2 defensemen on the power play as well, Provorov and Ryan Ellis. So, yeah, even when they're on the power play, that line is making a hell of an impact. And just a great start to the second period, too, for the Flyers. And this was a great play by Keith Yandel. You can definitely tell this was a set play that they do in practice. Keith Yandel coming into the Flyer zone, sends it all the way down the ice. Great hustle by James Van Riemsdyk to beat out the icing. And the Flyers, they scramble in there. Oscar Lindblom, there was an initial save by Swayman, but the rebound goes right to the stick of Scott Lawton, and he puts it 5-0 right by him, and it becomes a 3-1 lead. That was a set play. That was beautifully executed. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And honestly, a guy like James Van Riemsdyk, even though he's not putting up that many points to start the season, he has 2 points. He has 2 points over the first 3 games. JVR has had a very quietly, I would say, good start to the season. He hasn't really been, I would say, noticeable offensively. He got a couple of points, but he's also making some smart plays in the defensive zone, smart plays in the neutral zone, and especially on that set play with the hustle to beat out the icing. JVR hasn't been noticeable, but he's doing the little things right, and I think eventually he's going to find that scoring touch. It's only a matter of time for him. So you get that 3-1 lead to start the period, but Boston once again gets into their little possession game where they're hemming it in the Flyers zone. The Flyers' first line gets stuck in there. The fourth line gets stuck in there. And the Flyers, at this point, they do get an offensive chance. They have the puck in the zone. They're getting some good chances right here. But Rasmus Ristolainen, he made the right play. This was poor execution. He tried to get the puck in deep, didn't get it deep enough into the Boston zone. They bring it up. It's a spring pass from McAvoy to Taylor Hall for the wide open breakaway. Puts it top shelf right by Martin Jones, and it becomes a 3-2 game. Boston continues to do their damage. They continue to control pace in this period. And once again, the Flyers is having a lot of trouble getting out of their own zone, and this especially happens at the end of the period. It's that fourth line out there with Travis Sanheim and Rasmus Ristolainen. They're having problems getting the puck out. Nicolas Aube-Kubel can't do it. Ristolainen can't do it, and then Sanheim ends up icing the puck. So you're forcing a face-off in your own zone when your guys have already been on the ice for a good amount of time, and Boston bringing out the perfection line. Yeah, you know how that's going to go. They don't win the face-off. They still struggle to get the puck out of the zone. And then you get a scramble in front of the net, a couple of wraparounds. Martin Jones makes the initial saves. But the puck finds the stick of Brad Marchand, a guy you definitely don't want the puck finding, and he buries it past Jones, tying the game up at 3. And this was definitely a mistake right here by Rasmus Ristolainen, not noticing where Marchand is and having difficulties trying to tie up his stick to get the puck off of it. So that's a mistake right there, and the game ends up tied going into the second intermission. Definitely not where you want to be, but I would say it could be worse. You still find yourself tied, and you still have a chance to win this game. It's only tied going into the third period. You need to find a way to put your best period in front of you going into the third. And the Flyers, once again, they start off very early like they did in the second period. And this is a great play by the Brassard line once again. I cannot credit this line enough for how dominant they've been. Boston bringing up in the neutral zone. Joel Farabee with an impressive turnover, brings the puck in for a 3-on-1, makes a nice feed over to Cam Atkinson. He doesn't even get all of it. He just, I would say he whiffs on the puck a little bit, but he still gets enough of it to put it by Swayman, and it just trickles into the net. Becomes a 4-3 lead like that to start the third period, and that's the way you want to start. And man, this second line is so beautiful. I can honestly say, the second line could be better than that perfection line with the way they played today. Man, they've just been beautiful. They've been so great to start the season. Joel Farabee has been amazing. Cam Atkinson has been amazing. And surprisingly, Derek Brassard has been really good. This chemistry with this line has been really good. And I definitely do not want to see these guys broken up at all. These guys have been something good, and I can't wait to see what they do the rest of the season. These first 3 games, these guys have played spectacular, and I can't wait. Got blood rushing through my body. Got the heart racing. Got the energy flowing. Feels really good. Really good to watch that line go at it. The Flyers, they played a lot better in this period as well. Once again, remaining disciplined. Boston had their chances as well, but once again, they kept it to the outside. And even when they get their little bit of dangerous chances that they got in this third period, Martin Jones making some nice saves. They're making some nice stick plays too in the defensive zone to make sure Boston doesn't get a handle on it. And Boston also stabbed themselves in the foot a couple of times. Pastrnak had some chances for some one-timers. He whiffed on the puck, or he just wasn't set up in the right position to receive the pass. And Boston, they were flubbing on the puck a lot in the third period, actually. And sometimes throughout the course of the game, they were kind of mishandling the puck in the offensive zone when they had a good chance to put a shot on net. But I would say they were still outplaying the Flyers for the most part. But the Flyers, they just hemmed it down. They played a solid third period. And this is where you start to notice where the first line for the Flyers is not out there against the perfection line. Alain Vigneault, I would assume that was his decision to try to find the better matchup for those top guys. And the better matchups pay off because you have the first line out there against one of the middle lines for Boston. Sean Couturier with a little puck, just a bouncing puck in the neutral zone, comes into the offensive zone, back passes it to Travis Konechny, who's following up the ice. And then Konechny, great screen by Sean Couturier, put the top shelf. Honestly, where I was sitting, I couldn't tell if the puck went into the net. The only thing I saw was the net jiggle. That was basically it. I did not see that puck into the net, but you could definitely tell just from the reaction on the ice that puck did go in. A goal for Travis Konechny, his third goal in his third straight game, and it becomes a 5-3 Flyers lead. And basically from there, just shut the game down. And that's exactly what the Flyers did. They got their chances. Boston got their chances. Martin Jones making saves. Flyers making some nice defensive plays. McEwen made a really nice poke play when Boston was trying to get an odd man rush going the other way. The Flyers draw a power play too with the final 2 minutes of the period. Flyers got a face-off in the offensive zone. You got the little bit of roughing going on there in front of the net. Sean Couturier with Brandon Carlo. Carlo giving a little 1-2 how do you do's. And Couturier draws the penalty. And you get a power play in the final 2 minutes of the period. And Boston, yeah, they're going to be aggressive just because they need to get that extra attacker out there to pull the empty net to try to get this into a 1-goal game. They do have their chances, but forcing turnovers in your defensive zone, Sean Couturier clears it all the way down the ice, puts it into the empty net, cha-ching. This game is over. 6-3 Flyers win. Love it. This team did not play their best, but good teams find ways to win. And this Flyers team is definitely different from what they showcased in these first 3 games from the team that was last season. This team last season would have lost this game. The way this team showcased fight in here, really good. Really, really good. And look at the 3 stars of the game. It's the Brassard line. Brassard, 3rd star. Joel Farabee, 2nd star. Cam Atkinson, 1st star. That line has been so electric. I can't give them enough credit. It's been so fun to watch that line. And just other stats going throughout this game. Shots on goal, definitely in Boston's favor, 40-25. Boston in the first period had shots 10-7. In the second period, they had shots 18-10 in favor of Boston. And in the third period, shots also favor Boston, 12-8. Flyers, they led in the faceoff percentage. They won 52% of the faceoffs in this game. Flyers scored on both power plays in this game, the one at the end of the first period, and basically the one just to ice off the game at the end. So they went 2 for 2. Boston only had 1 power play, even though there was an obvious tripping call in that third period that the refs missed. I'll take that any day of the week. The Flyers kill off the only power play that they gave Boston in this game. Hits, definitely a physical game, 35-32. A lot of block shots for the Flyers, especially they had 23 to Boston's 18. And yeah, this game was just really, really just fun to watch. And I want to look at the stats for the Flyers so far to start the season because there's definitely some good things to look into in terms of the stats. Hopefully I can find it on this app. Here we go. So if I go to the Flyers leaders so far this season, Joel Farabee leads the team in points with 6. He has 6. And look at this line for the Flyers just to start the season. Joel Farabee, +7. Cam Atkinson, +7. Derek Brassard, +6. That line has been very good. Travis Konechny, he has 4 points to start the season, 3 goals and an assist. Claude Giroux, he has 3 points to start the season. He has a goal, well, 2 goals and an assist. You also have Derek Brassard. He's got 5 points on the year. You got Keith Yandel. He has 5 points on the year. Atkinson has 4 points. Justin Braun with 3 points in the first 3 games of the season. Sean Couturier, he has 3 points. Ryan Ellis, if I can find him on this list for some reason, it is not showing him. He has 4 points to start the season as well. And if I want to go to Martin Jones and Carter Hart, they don't have Martin Jones' stat for this game right here. But still, just not your best game, but you found a way to win. And I think that's what matters the most for this game for the Flyers. Good team, they found a way to win. And it's a really tough, even though Boston, this is only their 2nd game played this season, Boston came at them today. They definitely showcased they were the fresher team with all the days off that they had, but the Flyers stood with it, and they found a way to win this game, and that's where it matters the most. So, what are your thoughts on this game, everyone? I want to hear your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below, as always, on the second line, Derek Brassard, Cam Atkinson, Joel Farabee, just everything. Your thoughts on Ristolainen's first game, Martin Jones' first game, everything. Do not forget to leave those comments down below. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video. Do not forget to check out the Panel Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer.pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. That good stuff is down in the description below. Definitely do not forget to check those out. And like I said at the beginning of the video, definitely recommend hitting that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that, and I will see you next time.